These are the notes over two-way table questions. So all a two-way table is that you are just listing a set of attributes down one column and then another set of attributes across rows, and you're matching those up. And you can have as many rows and columns as you want. Typically it's 2 and 2, but you can, like I said, you can have as many as you want. And there are questions that involve a row and a column, or just a column and just a row, depending on the question. And so I'll go through these 10 and then try to get you to pay attention to the and the or. So if you have the word or that's capitalized like that, that means you're adding two essentially probabilities together, and then you're subtracting the intersection. Whereas with the word and, you're just finding the intersection. So I'll try to do those together. So let's look at problems 1 and 3 first. So what percentage of students are both a sophomore and not a credit card carrier? So you go down across the sophomore row and then down the column, not a credit card carrier. And so that is 21 out of 100. And then you can just convert that to a decimal and a percent, which I will not spend a whole lot of time talking about. Now, or. So how do you treat the or situation? So you go across the row, are a sophomore, so that's 40 out of 100. You add that to not a credit card carrier, so that's 69 out of 100. And then you subtract the intersection, which is 21 out of 100. And the reason you do that is because that 21 is part of 69 and the 40. And so you're counting it twice as you go to do all that. So this is 88 out of 100, and that is 88%. What percentage of students are freshmen? So that's just a simple question, 60 out of 100. So that's a one row or one column calculation, however you want to look at it. I guess row would be the more appropriate way to describe it. What percentage of students are a credit card carrier given that they are a freshman? So now we're limiting, we're not using the whole table, we're just focusing on that column or row of freshmen. So given that they are a freshman, that means that you're just using this row, and that 60 is going to be the bottom value. And what percent are a credit card carrier? So that's 12 out of 60, and then that is 20% when you do that division. What percentage of students are a freshman given that they are a credit card carrier? So now you focus here, 31 is going to be the bottom, and then 12 is going to be the top. So the phrase given that is going to tell you what the denominator is. So this is 0.387, which is 38.7%. It's really very easy to use a two-way table. What percentage of students are a freshman or a credit card carrier? So freshman or a credit card carrier. So 60 out of 100, or a credit card carrier, and that would be 31 right here out of 100. And now as we do this, we have to subtract the intersection of 12 out of 100. So you look at, again, where does that row and column meet? And then when you do all of that, you have 79 out of 100, which is 0.79, 79%. And then contrasted with and, now you just find the intersection, which is 12 out of 100. So the intersection one is very easy. What percentage of students are a credit card carrier given that they are a sophomore? So given that they are a sophomore, that means the bottom is 40, and they're a credit card carrier, so that's 19. And that is 0.475. And that's 47.5%. 9, what percentage of students are a sophomore given that they are a credit card carrier? So 31's got to be the bottom. And then that they are a sophomore, so 19. And again, around that to the nearest tenths place. So we want to go 3 places with the decimal. So 61.3. What percentage of students are credit card carriers? So you just look at the total there, 31, and then out of 100. So the questions that are not whole table are the questions that contain the given that phrase. So when you see the given that phrase, that means you're limiting to just the total in that column or row. So you can see the problems that do that, and just a heads up with that, and then a heads up on the or questions where you have to take out the intersection of the row and the column.